obviously new year, I've been out of it for maybe kind of a year and a half, 2 years, not properly. Obviously I did a couple of races last year, but obviously this year we've gone for the coupe, new car, new engine. So it's a lot to learn again, and it's just nice to know that, like, obviously the car's got it, and it's nice to know that I've still got it as well.
Guys, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. 2025 Scottish Legends Championship. First of all, a massive thank you to all supporting the championship. We've got, I believe, 37 registered for the championship. 25 out today. Unfortunately, Stewart Black's put his back, so he's not competing today. You believe 25th anniversary, 25 cars. What we'll do is we'll get on with the ball.
Especially in a Legend, you're not going to be quick first off. You have to learn the car, because Legends are hard to drive. I think if you can drive a Legend, you can drive anything. But you just need to kind of almost be one with the car. You know, it's just don't try and overdrive the car. That's the main thing. Don't overdrive it, and just kind of get to know the paddock. You know, everyone's here to kind of help each other out. You know, we're a big community here. So yeah, I'd say that's kind of the key. It doesn't all happen once. It doesn't all happen the first year. You have to kind of let it come to you. I've had some arguments with some drivers over the years, but yeah, it is very hard to kind of keep it kind of a split, because obviously you're on track. If someone kind of pulls a move on you that you shouldn't have done, that bit desperate kind of move, then you know you're potentially friends with them off the track. It can cause tensions, but luckily enough, I've never had close friends that I've kind of lost through kind of on track. But it's kind of, well, yeah, it's a tough one. That's a real tough one.
Really good for feedback. Can tell you exactly what the car's doing, down to silly things like a brake pull. Yeah, just really good. Sometimes used to overthink it, I would say, and it was him overdriving, but we're going to have to agree to disagree on that one.
I think because it's not an overly long circuit, like, you know, you kind of down south like Snetterton and Donington and all that kind of stuff there, and even Silverstone, they're really long circuits for the Legends, and obviously they don't like to be kind of flat out for a long period of time. And obviously because they're smaller cars, it's not a really wide track like kind of some of the UK circuits, and just the kind of the driving style of them kind of just suits Knockhill, because obviously it's twisty and tight, and you've got the hills and all that, you know, and they are kind of quite forgiving as well. If you kind of get them tailing out, they're kind of quite easy corrected. So it's just, yeah, just got everything.
He came over when we were trying to do a rush job on Alan Kirkcody's car. Gave me his jacket, didn't even know me. Helped us do the job, and then I gave him his jacket back covered in paint. We had painted the oil can that day and it never dried properly, which I never knew about. And that's how I met him.
Another season of Scottish Legends Cars racing about to get underway, and we're racing anti-clockwise today. Our second day will feature clockwise racing, and there is Ben Mason in the Cresta prepared car. Are we going to see a Cresta run today? That remains to be seen as the cars come up to the line, ready for the rolling start for race number 1 of the new season. In front of us is Neil Shenton, the ex-Briscoe Formula 1 stock car driver, ex-National Legends driver too. Great to see Neil back up here again. We're racing and heading down into the hairpin for the first time. Mason keeping it tight. Ryan McLeish, one of the front runners last year in the white 71 car, managing to avoid the melee at turn 1. We've got a couple of cars at Ryan. Most of the field have missed it. Several cars going off onto the gravel on the outside of the hairpin. In front of us though is LB Clark in the 15. Let's see if Ben can make the position here on LB Can, long railway straight, heading up towards Clark Corner through on the inside. Still chasing Ryan McLeish at the moment. McLeish goes past Christopher Wallace in the 7. Ben Mason goes to the outside as well. Blue skies greeting the runners here today on the opening of this new campaign. 3 races a day. It's going to be a very long battle over the course of the 2025 season. Oh, there's more contact there as they climb up towards the start-finish line area, and again avoided. You've got to have the rub of the green in these ones as they go under the Beatson's Bridge again. Matthew Pape in front of us, and so far the front runners have managed to avoid the turmoil as Ben Mason comes through. He's going to look down the inside of Matthew Pape, gets the move done nice and early. Now look at the line here. He was much tighter into the corner on lap 1 to get on the inside of the traffic. Now enjoying a little bit more of a racing line. Chasing now after the 55. That's Stewart McAndrew, another driver who's frequented the National Championship. Mason through to the inside, up to Clark Corner. Getting his lines around about right there. And now closing in on Dan Clark in the 14. He's going through. This is lap 5, and he's challenging. The 22 car goes through on the inside. Dan Clark had no answer for that, but Clark might go for the cutback, which he does. So Dan Clark back in front. Ben's got to do all the work again over the curbs as they climb back towards the start-finish line again. Let's see how this one pans out. Here we come, bump drafting, no. Mason moves to the inside, over the brow, across the line, and we've seen Dan Clark come back before. He can well do it again, clashes the curb a little bit, unsettles the car. That's going to enable Ben Mason just to pull away a little bit in the blue 22. There's the checker, end of the first race of the season, and it's Ben Mason that takes the win, with Dan Clark second, Matthew Pate completing our top 3 in the opener of the season.
I want to get the car home in one piece, that's my main aim. So 1 out of the 6 so far this weekend, so just keep on going for the rest of the day.
Run out onto circuit, and Ben Mason finds himself this time right at the front of the grid. In race 1 he was drawn 18th on the grid, a few newcomers behind him, as is the way in Legends cars. Of course, he had Shenton in front of him in race 1. This time it's clear circuit for Ben Mason, our race 1 winner, looking to try and make it a double. Remember, it's reverse grid for the 3rd race, so whoever scores the most points over the 2 races starts at the back. And it's Ben alongside David Allen. Got Shenton immediately behind as the pace car peels off into pit road. Gary Atkinson and David Allen on the outside of the front 2 rows, and here we go racing again, and it's Mason. Look at the pack behind, getting relatively spread out. David Allen's going to have a go around the outside. Ryan McLeish is already up into 4th place in the white 71, make that 3rd as he goes on the inside. He's going to try and get 2nd position here as well, McLeish, as they come out to the hairpin for the first time side by side with David Allen, but Ben Mason developing a good lead as they go along Railway Straight up towards clocks for the first time. Our second anti-clockwise race of this one. They ride the curbs. David Allen running a good 3rd place at the moment. Little mistake there from Ben. Picks up the dirt, maybe going a little bit too far, but still in front. Good clear view. That's exactly what the man from Maud wants. Ryan McLeish in 2nd. Is closing up. McLeish started, as I say, in 7th position on the grid, and has come up well. He's trying to close in on Ben. He is closing the gap, so it's going to be, I think, a straight fight between these 2 at the moment. And here comes McLeish, makes the move as they go under the Measons Bridge, down towards the hairpin, and McLeish has got the inside line. Ben Mason will see him there and will know that the lead has now gone. Now, can Ben get the cutback? No, he can't, out of the hairpin. So have a little look. There's a bit of dirt being kicked up by the 71 car there. Ben Mason's going to bump draft. No, makes the move, flicks to the right, into the right-hander, grabs the curb, and yes, gets the lead. So McLeish trying to fight back. Bit of opposite block there, and that will lose a little bit of momentum. Not too much though, because the 71 car, as you can see, beginning to close in again. So Mason loses the lead, then gets it back. Oh, another sideways moment. McLeish is right on the limit, but controlling the car beautifully. Can he close up? Keeps it smooth. He might be able to do that. It's Mason leading at the moment. There is David Allen in 3rd place. Now the run to the flag, and McLeish is going to have a go. They're onto the grid lines. He's got momentum. McLeish up to the flag, and McLeish just takes it. Ben Mason relegated on the line by a bumper's width by Ryan McLeish, who takes a win. It's 1 win apiece for these 2. as we go into the final race of the day.
So I was here for a not kill experience, rally experience, and we were across the back section when they did the rallying across there, and we were just watching while we were kind of waiting to go out again, and we saw the Legends on track, and we kind of took a walk up, and obviously Ali, you know, was up here with the Legends, and we kind of got talking to him, and then I don't know, there was just something about them, the sound of them, the look of them, the smell when they started, and obviously Ali as well, you know, was so kind of helpful and kind of inviting. And I think a month later, 2 months later, I was out at a car in Croft, and then the rest is history.
The all-important third race with the top point scorers starting at the back of the field. Ryan McLeish is starting 18th, Ben Mason 17th, Neil Shenton in the blue and yellow 35 car has scored well. He is starting in 16th on the grid, and all of these guys with a lot of work to do. David Allen's run well, he's just in front of those guys with Gary Atkinson, but Ryan McLeish starts at the back of the regular drivers. We've got some newcomers in behind as we go racing once again. Matthew Pape scored well too. Matthew chasing the 14 of Dan Clark, covers the inside as they go down into the hairpin for the first time. He's down, isn't it, into the hairpin, right downhill, the switchback out to the left, now onto Railway Straight. Dan Clark cuts across. Ben's going to have a look at the inside run as they go through the right-hander. McLeish has passed Mason, that could be a key move for him, but Mason sees a gap on the outside, clears about 3 cars. Wonderful reading of the first lap traffic there by Ben Mason to make up 3, maybe 4 positions. He's now cleared Neil Shenton in the 35 car. Pretty wide here, going to try and pick a line to go through. Stewart McAndrew in the 55 goes on the outside. Colin Atkinson, former champion, gets all sideways. I think connects it up as Colin Atkinson. And Ben Mason clear of that lot. Ryan McLeish is about 3 cars behind at the moment. Still behind Stewart McAndrew, another driver who's got a little bit of National Legends experience. He's moved away from the Nationals to come and race here, and it's a good thing, of course, to race your racing, learn the car, learn the track, no excuses. Once you've got all that experience under your belt, as David Allen continues to be impressive here, and Ben's right on top of him. He's going to try the inside. Can he go through? David grabs the line in front of him. Gary Atkinson to the inside. Is there any space here at the moment? Not really. Ryan McLeish coming through. So Ryan passing Grant Hunter. And here comes McLeish. Sends it down the inside. And is he going to be able to pass the 6 car as well? He goes inside. Ben Mason looking outside. I tell you what, Ryan McLeish read that as well as Ben Mason did, going into Clark on the first lap. And McLeish, that could be a key move in this race and for the points on the overall on the day. And look, McLeish has cleared another car already, so he's got a car between himself and Ben Mason, and that's absolutely key for the overall day's points here as they go up and over the brow again. Mason still with time to fight back. Drivers from the back, of course, looking to get an overall race win if they can. David Allen runs a little bit wide. The 21 car now, the next target for McLeish is Mark Mulholland. Now, it's all about points, of course. The third place would probably give either Ryan McLeish or Ben Mason overall victory on points today, but they'll want to try and get the win if they can. And already they've got the race leaders in their sight, so as well as having to think about racing each other, they're trying to get towards the front. Brett Bowie and Bill Reed started on the front row of the grid. Michael Weddle is doing well still and in the mix. Michael Weddle, so the former Scottish Mini Cooper champion, having an impressive run. There's Glenn Birchall in front of the 71 as well at the moment. Glenn in the number 72, and another driver with Nationals experience. More Scottish racer of late is Glenn Birchall as they go across the line again and trying to hunt down the race leaders. And here comes Mason having a look on the inside. This is the battle, this is the lead group. Berkshire in the ex-Gerard McCosh car, still he's running very well indeed. Now this is our top three, closing stages of this race. And it's Ryan McLeish out front, Michael Weddell in second, and Ben Mason back in third at the moment. And Michael Weddell is going to have a go here. Still learning his Legends trade is Michael Weddell, runs a little bit wide. Ben will try and get the run out of the hairpin. They'll climb up towards Clark Corner. Weddell's going to have a go at Ryan McLeish, but no, here comes Ben Mason on the outside. We've seen him pass on the inside already at Clark. Now he goes to the outside of the run in and gets second position for Michael Weddell. Great stuff from Mason, still chasing the race leader, Ryan McLeish. Now, as we saw earlier on, if you're getting the lead is one thing, but both of these guys have made comebacks from being passed. So that's the great thing about Legends racing. You never quite know how it's going to finish because they're evenly matched. So Mason starting to try and get back on track, dealing with a little bit of traffic as they go up across the line once again onto the last lap. Mason makes a move down the outside. This could be brave. Is he going to get the move complete here as they go into the hairpin? Is he going to cut across and get the apex? He does. Ben Mason's got the lead. Now, Ryan McLeish has been here before. We know that the 71 car can fight back on the last lap, get the drag up to the flag and maybe take the win, maybe take the points victory. This is going to be absolutely crucial between those two. Along railway straight, and here comes McLeish. Goes for the lead. There isn't quite room there. He can't do it. He's going to have to go again. Meanwhile, Michael Weddell in third place is in the mix as well. Closing stages of this 10-lapper here on the anti-clockwise configuration of Knock Hill. And it's Ben Mason out front defending for the round win as well as the race win here. Here comes McLeish, closes in again. This is not the view that Ben Mason wants. They're coming through the last couple of corners, climbing uphill again. Mason starts to pull away. That could be key for him. Here we come, the checker flag's inside. They're coming up to the green lights now. Mason's going to take the win, and with it, he's going to take the overall victory of the day. Ryan McLeish chases it all the way to the line, but Mason takes it. McLeish second, Weddell completes the top three. What a day's racing.
Doesn't feel like work. Sometimes I disagree with what he says. Sometimes he's right. But he's good, he listens, he does what we say. And if I ask him a question, I'll answer it good. We treat it as work as well as a friendship. I want him to do the best he can. He's my driver, I'm my best friend, so it's a bonus both ways.
Third place overall with 490 points is Matthew Pate. Second overall with 545 points, Ryan McLeish. And first overall with a new lap record of a 57.191 and 585 points, Ben Mason!
So tough. And consistency, like, because especially this year there's such big grids, the chance of damage obviously is a lot higher, so you just need to be consistent. And kind of look at Stewart kind of over the past few years, he's just had consistent finishes, and I think consistency is just the key to winning the champ. I think winning any championship really is consistency, not to try and win the race in the first corner. Like after the first race today, I was starting kind of quite near the back, and I said, right, let's just kind of let it sort itself out in front of me and then kind of go from there. And that's kind of the mindset I'm going to have for the rest of the season. This year it'd be unbelievable if we could get that fourth title, and I think to have, like I say, the support kind of that I have here, and kind of from everywhere. Like, you know, my in-laws come from Edinburgh to watch. They weren't motorsport orientated at all until I came on the scene. and they're here every race meeting. Obviously my parents, friends from up north, friends from down here, you know, and all the kids as well, like the next generation, you know, my kids, our friends' kids are all kind of growing up with motorsport. So it would be unbelievable if we could get this fourth title.
I said it was one piece. Yeah. I don't mind, I said to him, I said there's some patches, I don't give a fuck.
Dan Clark! Well, Ryan McLeish. Last but not least, Ken Mason. 11. Brilliant. Thanks everyone. Keep those standards up from yesterday. It was the best racing, as Rob Johnson says, best Legends racing he's ever seen. Keep it nice and clean and enjoy your day. Thank you very much indeed.
Grid draw has seen Ryan and Ben effectively drawn together. I know a lot of drivers in Legends like to have arch rivals at the other end of the grid, but I guess they'll each know what each other is doing through the two heats, and for the fans here at Knockhill it's going to give us a really good insight into how the top two in the championship after day one race with each other. And McLeish on the offensive already. Neil Shenton is right with them too. Dan Clark in the number 14 car as well is there. We're down, we're through, we're past Christopher Wallace as they come down into up over the curbs. Goes Ryan McLeish. Has that damaged the car? Ben Mason clear of that. McLeish races on. 10th place draw for Mason in this one, starting to work his way through the field, so around about halfway down the grid, all being sorted out behind him at the moment. Now safety car here at Knockhill, that will calm things down. The drivers will take stock, get an idea of what they need to do. You can see Mason has made a really good amount of progress. David Allen, the leader in the number 2. Colin Atkinson is down behind him. Those immaculate team cars, they look $1 million, they really do. Down behind us, Matthew Pape is in 4th position. Michael Weddle in 5th. Need to get on the gas as well. Now we're about to go racing again here, the 4th race of the season here at Knockhill. The first race on the traditional clockwise direction. Away we go, we get over the line, and Mason makes light work of Colin Atkinson, who was ready to pounce and goes up into P2. David Allen there as they go down Duffer's Dip for the first time after the safety car. We're looking back at the 3rd place car, now we're looking ahead. This is where Ben's focus is going to be. Looking to try and get a 3rd win of the weekend here at Knockhill. Over the back of the number 2 car at the moment. Goes for the wide run up to Clark. Is he going to go for the outside? Maybe get a cut back, or perhaps more momentum on the exit. Does he get closer? Doesn't at the moment. Now he's starting to build and flicks to the left. This is the brave run. It's the outside if they're still going to be together as they get to the hairpin. Now Mason's got the move complete. Very well timed by the 22 car. Colin Atkinson still in 3rd and coming under a little bit of pressure from Matthew Pape. So in the mix there is Michael Weddle, the top 5. as David Allen tries to come back now at the race leader, so it's Mason there. David Allen goes to the outside. You can see he's not finished yet. You can also see why he was one of the top scorers on day one, really putting the 22 car under a lot of pressure. But it's Ben Mason that takes the flag again, a third win of the weekend. Coming on the track for the second heat today. Front row, Grant Hunter and Stewart McAndrew. Then we've got Bill Reid, Glenn Burtonshaw on row 2. Row 3, Gary Atkinson and Ryan McLeish, who was out of luck in race 1. Ben Mason and Matthew Pape on row 4. Ben on the outside, they're just behind Ryan McLeish. So this should be a cracking race between those two. And we're getting ready as ever. The sun's still shining here at Knockhill Circuit, and our second Legends race about to be unleashed on the 5 tarmac. Just one more race to go after this one as the pace car leads them up the hill. Here's the look back. There is Matthew Pape in the 24. It looks like Ben Mason's got the better run off the start than Matthew Pape, and already passes being made. There is Bill Reid in the 333 car, so Ben's made up a couple of positions here down the inside of Gerard McCosh in the 72. Another pass executed as well as they come down through Duffers and up towards the chicane for the first time. But it's Grant Hunter leading at the moment from Ryan McLeish. Mason in third place in the Cresta car, and it's a challenge for the lead already on lap 1. And there goes Ryan McLeish through on the inside. Following it goes Mason at Park Corner, and Grant Hunter down to third place. Held the lead through the first few corners very well indeed, but down to third.
He seems to get through the pack quite fast. I don't see a lot around the track what he's doing, but it's always a bonus when he comes around. He's passed like 10 cars in the first lap. You know he's going fast, so it's good. But again, track limits bend. You don't know what you're doing around the back.
Here comes McLeish to the outside as they go into the hairpin. Could he get the cutback as they come up the straight? McLeish hard on the brakes. Now he's trying to pop the nose of the car inside. Gets a little bit sideways coming out. Loses a wee bit of momentum. And as they come up to the flag, it's Ben Mason that just takes it from Ryan McLeish. But a track limits penalty for Mason will relegate him down the order.
Makes it look nice and clean.
Just driver error, just obviously had a warning for the track limits. I thought it was the exit of Clark's and exit chicane, so I was obviously watching what I was doing there, but it's actually the entry into chicane. So I now know for next race. Obviously the chicane, you've always been able to kind of ride the left curb, ride the right curb. Obviously we used to have floppies there that Mr. Hunter used to love taking out, that's why he was called Mr. Floppy. But yeah, we could always ride the left-hand curb and the exit the right. But like see, the touring cars are here, they're on the grass and nothing's said about them. But yes, I do, yeah, definitely think they serve a purpose in certain situations.
start of our final race of the weekend. Starting 19th in this one, Ben Mason. Alongside him is Jamie Blake, and we are racing as the pack head down to Duffer's Dip. And we've got a spinner, and this is like the opening of a snooker frame where the reds get split. I think everybody's okay. If we've got a stranded car, it'll be a safety car, but they're all sorting themselves out. If we look in the mix, most of the cars are still running, but we're hearing from race control that we might have a safety car with plenty of time, of course, for the officials to sort it out on the lap. As we look at Murray Scott having a look at the 22 car on the inside. So cars went everywhere. Yeah, there's confirmation we're under safety car here, so everybody gets the chance to collect their thoughts, and the most important thought, of course, is the safety of any drivers who might have a stranded car. We are going to get a restart for our final, and some huge work to do again for the front runners for races 1 and 2. Here we go. Ben Mason passes Bill Reid in the 333, so starting to make some work up. Ben disappointed obviously with that track limits penalty in race 2, denying him the win that we saw. Burtonshaw in 72 is the next target for Ben Mason, and Glenn picks off a car on the inside, goes through, and the car's greeted with, well, green flags, but sadly it's an early red flag and the race being declared due to problems for Murray Scott. So that's the weekend over, very sadly.
Buzzing. Just obviously, like I said to you before, my main aim is to have a car in one piece at the end of the meeting, which it is. Obviously, race 1 good, P1, P2 and race 2 my fault. And then the final, just obviously starting from 19th, it was just so hard to kind of get through the pack. There's so many, 2 safety cars, and obviously red flagged at the end. So I was kind of chasing a losing battle kind of from the start. I reckon if we'd kind of didn't have the red flag, maybe we would have got a podium. But nah, just delighted.
Third place overall today with 440 points, Dan Clark. Second place, 500 points, Michael Weddle. Yes, you've got boring already. 550 points, Ben Mason.
I can't wait. I've said to a few people that I've never been this excited for a race season. Obviously, just because we've got such a good car and the grids are phenomenal. You know, it's a fantastic way to kind of celebrate the 25 years of Legends, to have such a big grid. So there'll be lots of good stuff to come, and I think it's going to be so close fought, especially with Ryan, and then Dan as well. He'll hopefully be up there, and then Mikey as well. Kind of he's nipping at our heels with the four cylinder. But yeah, I just can't wait for the next one.